Hey, true believers, Englentine here. Well, it wouldn't be a day of the week with a Y in it if we didn't have another bit of Stan Lee drama happening. It just seems to happen quite a bit. Now, of course, he came out and denied a lot of the allegations of stuff that's been happening to him a little bit ago, as far as the abuse from his daughter and his and the people surrounding him. I've got a tinfoil hat as far as all that's concerned, but that's just me. Anyway, turns out, according to the Daily Mail, last Thursday, officers were called to the house because there were two gunmen outside. An LAPD spokesperson said officers were called to property on 91 block of Oriole. That's his house. It's like a big $5 million home. It was claimed that a suspect had a gun and was threatening. Officers detained two individuals that matched the descriptions, and an investigation is ongoing. 3 units are still on scene, including officers and detectives. According to police, one or both of the men had been at the property the previous day on Wednesday. So apparently one of the gunmen are saying that Stan Lee owes them money and he wanted to get the money back. And just heads up, okay, if somebody owes you money, don't go over to their house with a gun. That just puts you in trouble, just saying. I don't think it has to be said, but apparently at least one person in the world we know needed somebody to teach him that lesson. Anyway, it keeps going. A source who witnessed the incident said things went bad following an angry confrontation between Lee and one of the men. There were 2 guys. Actually, they say there was 2 guys. I think it's there were 2 guys standing outside demanding money, and they were shouting. I guess the neighbor said. Let's see. There was a confrontation with Stan in the front of his house, but Stan doesn't know either of them. One guy was saying, "I want my money. I want my money, bitch. I gave you the idea for Spider-Man." But when everyone realized the men had guns, everyone retreated inside. Stan's lawyer and business partner and nurse were in the house with him. At some point, the men took out their guns and were pointing them around, so police were called. The source, obviously a neighbor, seems like this. I mean, they started off saying a neighbor, and now they're saying the source, who asked not to be named, said up to 20 cops arrived and police helicopters were above. Yeah, that usually happens. You see it around here all the time anyway. Let's see. It was crazy. The cops had their guns drawn and their spotlights from 2 police helicopters. It was very scary. Pretty. Hey, welcome to Crime Hills. Alrighty, let's see. The cops said, "Put your hands up," so the guys got on their knees on the floor and they were handcuffed and they were put in the car. The witness claimed that the men, one white and one black, had tossed their guns before police arrived, but it's claimed the officers later retrieved the weapons. It's not clear whether any arrests have been made following the incident, and its cause is still being investigated. The drama is the latest, of course, to involve Stan Lee after a string of incidents and claims this year. In April, police rushed to the star's house after an intruder jumped over a fence and was trying to force his way inside. So the drama. But since when did Stan Lee become an action star? Seriously, his life seems to be a hell of a lot more dramatic in recent years than it ever has been. Just saying. I mean, you know, I've been noticing a lot of the stories. Denied or not, you're getting a hell of a lot of stories about him these days. I said it before, and I'll say it again. Joan seemed to be the one that centered him. After she died, it seemed like everything went to hell. Everybody's got their hand out. You don't know who you could trust. I don't know. And it was said before that he's very trusting. He's the kind of guy that likes to make everybody happy around him. Okay, so he doesn't really see the bad in people very much, which is, it's a good, you know, thing to be to a certain extent. The Marvel creator security guard drew his gun as a man banged on a heavy side door. This is, of course, the one that happened in April. He kicked it and tried to wrench it. In February, police were called to the home to investigate a claim of elder abuse. The allegation is believed to have involved Stan's longtime road manager and bodyguard Max Anderson, a convicted felon. Anderson, whose real name is Mac Anderson, has a reputation for violence and intimidating behavior. He has 2002 felony conviction for beating up and injuring his wife, for which he was jailed in a year and given 36 months probation. Let's see. Okay, then they just go on more about this Max Anderson guy. According to 2010 court records, he was found guilty of attacking his son. Teacher with a belt? No, he put him in a chokehold. Okay, that's going overboard. Teachers called police out. Yeah, it's more about Anderson. Okay, so anyway, there you go. So a couple of gunmen show up at Stan Lee's house and demand money. Wow. This just kind of goes with what was said before about how it seems people are trying to extort money from him. It really is. It's like he's surrounded himself with people who see him as a bank. And if he doesn't give them that money, give him my money, they're going to get it one way or the other. And it wasn't even just that. In January, I don't know if you guys remember, but they kind of laid down some sexual assault and harassment charges against him as some nurses tried to get some money from him. It's amazing that it's turned to this. It really has. I know the fan base is just like, hey, let him live his life. What's left of it? Come on, let him just get on Twitter. He seems to be having fun there at The Real Stan Lee. He said he's not on any other social media because he found out those got hacked. So it's only his Twitter account that he's on. He seems to be having a good time there. You know, he tweets out questions and such like that. I think it was like, what's your favorite character or what's your favorite movie not too long ago. Yeah, he's enjoying life. Let him enjoy life. Why are these people all over him for money? I don't know. And if you if he owes you money for real, go to a lawyer. Jesus, Lord in heaven. Showing up at his house with guns. What was it? In January, I remember someone stole $300,000 from him. You found out that somebody put a condo in their name for him. You know, just come on. And I don't know. The man's made what, like $50-60 million off of all the Marvel products. I remember reading something like that. You know, let him live in peace. You know, he's not a bank. I guess I'm just this is an amazing comment. Nobody's like, hey, get Stan Lee for what he's done. I know some people are like that because of how they think or feel that he treated. God dang it, I can't talk. Some people feel that way about him because of the way Kirby was treated, and that's understandable. But that's not like, die, Lee. It's just, you know, got to give the Kirby estate their due, and I can understand that. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. So I guess I'm going to move on. Wait, no, actually I want to talk about one more thing. And this may be a little bit more lighthearted than what came before. But I think it should be said because, you know, why not? Let's throw a little lightheartedness instead of gunmen showing up at Lee's house. Let's talk about Stan Lee in the 1970s and just go, damn, that mustache lived there, didn't it? Seriously. It's like him or Burt Reynolds. Who has the best mustache from the 1970s, Stan Lee or Burt Reynolds? That's the big question right there. I mean, I guess, you know, for 80s, you could throw in Tom Selleck. But come on. There is no other era that mustache could live in with such greatness and pride as it seems to be right here and right now. Just saying. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, click like, share, of course. And don't forget to hit subscribe and notifications if you haven't done that already. Cool things happen around these parts. Anyway, this is the way we're trying to make a living. We're trying to make better videos and get better software. So if you don't mind helping the channel out, go on over to Patreon, drop $1 in the till. The link is in the description below. We do have patron-only content, so you do get something back. And would like to thank everybody who's already done that. And to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.
Stand a little straighter, walk a little prouder, be an innovator, laugh a little louder, stroke a refrigerator, we can show you how to. And when will you be then? You belong, you belong, you belong, you belong to the Merry Marvel Marching Society. March along, march along, march along to the song of the Merry Marvel Marching